Friends, let's talk about love, or the goddess of love to be precise. Actually, Aphrodite is not only the goddess of love, she is also associated with beauty, pleasure, passion, and procreation. When we first see her, she is somewhat spiteful, selfish, and at times very immature. Take her feuds with Discord and her son Cupid, for example. But in time, the influence of her half-brother Hercules and her friendships with mortals such as Iolaus, Xena, and Gabrielle develop her character, making her more mature, kind, and gentle. Aphrodite is the second most frequently recurring character in Hercules and Xena after Ares. She appears in 10 seasons across 2 shows. It is possible that Aphrodite have time-traveled at some point, as she called Discord Elvira, which is a reference to Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and also have access to such technology as headphones. Apart from Aphrodite's special power to create love, desire, passion, and affection, and cause people to fall in love, she has the normal range of powers and abilities of Olympic deities: immortality, enhanced stamina, reflexes, senses, and agility, teleportation, telekinesis, conjuration, regeneration, invisibility, intangibility, invincibility, flying, shielding, time travel, though restricted by Zeus, healing, restricted by Athena, switching souls from one body to another, and shapeshifting. She also displayed an ability to generate an aura to prevent the soul of a worshipper from being taken to the underworld for the span of 1 day. She is the only Olympian seen to display this ability, but it is very possible that this is a perk any Olympian can occasionally use. As in Botticelli's famous painting, The Birth of Venus, Aphrodite appears for the first time rising out of the sea in a giant seashell in the Apple episode of Hercules' Legendary Journeys. She also used the seashell to go windsurfing in that episode and in the Battle for Mount Olympus animated movie, where she used it to surf down the slopes of Olympus. She later planned to hide in her shell if her calming aura to neutralize the bad Titan vibes didn't work. As we know, it didn't. Before her romance with Hephaestus, Aphrodite was a bit promiscuous. For example, she stole a boyfriend away from Hera, and because of that, Hera placed a curse on Cupid. He fell in love with a girl named Psyche, who was said to be more beautiful than Aphrodite, which made the latter extremely jealous. Out of jealousy, Aphrodite tried to shoot a love arrow at Psyche. When Cupid tried to stop her, Hercules was accidentally hit and fell in love with the girl himself. Owing to the Hera's curse, Cupid, being jealous, turned into a green-eyed monster at the thought of losing Psyche, so Hercules had to overcome his fake love for the girl and lift the curse from Cupid. To make amends, since she was the one who started the mess, Aphrodite then gave Psyche ambrosia to make her a goddess, but soon after realized that she became a mother-in-law, which did not make her very happy. She also became a grandmother later on, when Psyche and Cupid had a son named Bliss. In the Legendary Journeys, Aphrodite is usually the comic relief or our window into the politics of Mount Olympus. Though she is originally introduced as a scheming goddess, devious and almost as uncaring as Ares, she quickly evolves into a more benevolent, fun-loving character, though still prone to mood swings. Aphrodite is also one of the members of the Olympian family whom Hercules seems to have any sort of close relationship with, despite the troubles she seems to cause him. He even refers to her as his favorite little sister in one episode. Once Aphrodite was determined to break up a royal family marriage that was going to end the war, only because the newly allied kingdoms planned to destroy her temples. Cupid then said to Gabrielle,
"When the goddess of love decides to do something petty and spiteful, she can be a tad difficult to reason with."
Gabrielle managed to outfox Aphrodite and made her lift the spell she had casted on Joxer so that Iliandra and Sarpedon could finally get married. By the way, later in the series, Aphrodite developed warm feelings to Gabrielle and tried to save her during the massacre of the Olympian gods. The goddess of love became one of the survivors of the Twilight of the Gods, organized by Xena when Olympians under Athena's flag joined together to kill Eve. Aphrodite remained unconvinced that Eve would willingly destroy the gods, to the point where she sneaked her, Xena, and Gabrielle on Olympus itself. After the Twilight of the Gods, Aphrodite became mentally unbalanced due to Ares losing his powers, because, as we know, love must be always balanced by war. Her powers were then stolen by Caligula, whom Xena later tricked into killing himself. This made matters even worse, since love was gone from the world altogether. Eventually, Xena restored the powers of both Aphrodite and Ares using golden apples she stole from the Norse gods, thereby also restoring balance to the universe.